Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome to the MTGOnes 10th anniversary legacy tournament here in Lyon, France. As always, your boys in the booth, Callum and Kai from the Everyday Tournament podcast, bringing you the whole action live, and we are here for the semifinals. We saw the quarters. Pretty interesting magic.
Yeah, fantastic.
Except for like breakfast against Jeskai Wizards, and as most of you requested, we got them back.
Let's go.
We got more Wizards, Harry. All right. So Wizards always on the right side.
Yeah.
And Tubo on Dimir Reanimator. So this is like control versus tempo combo.
Sure.
It's like control tribal versus tempo combo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tribal tempo.
Yeah.
Tempo tribal. Is it tribal tempo or tempo tribal?
It's tempo tribal.
Tempo tribal.
Whatever's easier to say.
No, it should be tribal tempo.
Tribal tempo.
Tempo tribal is like the tribal deck built of tempo things.
Oh, okay. Like Merfolk.
Yeah, like Curse Catcher.
Tempo, yeah, dude. Which is also a wizard. So.
I'm just chatting caca.
Okay.
Right. Demi Reanimator being the bogeyman of the format for a long time. The only deck to put multiple copies in the top 8. This deck, still good.
It is. It definitely
still
is.
Good.
It's definitely one of the better decks.
Yeah.
It lost a lot of power with the banning of Frog, but I mean, look at this. You know, we got them in the semifinals.
Troll is the card that like bridges the tempo aspect with the combo aspect. Really, like, and we're seeing here like. Even if there was a counterspell, like Animate Dead historically was like kind of counter or lose, and now you can remove the frog, especially because you do play Flame of Arnaud to deal 5 damage to it, or Sword Splashes.
That's right.
But historically you'd like try and counter Animate Dead, and if there was a surgical, you'd kind of just lose. But like if there was a surgical in the troll, it's probably like,
okay.
I got my land off it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just going like turn 1 cycle troll, turn 2 reanimate or animate dead is such a strong play when you back it up with like Days, a couple of Wastelands, Force of Wills. Yeah. So good start. Like, Reanimator can have much more busted starts. Entomb, Reanimate, get an Archon or a Traxxer, refill your hand, have some counter magic. But this is decent as far as it goes. Whereas on the other side, Arnaud going Mystic Sanctuary Go is a sign of weakness for sure, I would say.
Like you're either mana flooded or mana screwed, right?
With the Sanctuary.
With the Sanctuary. If you go like Sanctuary Go.
I would say more screwed, because if you're flooded, you can keep it at hand to like play as your fourth land and trigger, or brainstorm it back or something.
Oh, okay.
So it's usually screwed up.
Yeah, it's kind of tempting to just wasteland the Sanctuary.
Yeah. So OSB in chess says, it's funny how I know I read many classic cards, he's not familiar with the format, still managed top 8. So our producer here said he's not played for ages. So I know it's just like, yeah, screw it. This format seems easy. And so
I'm gonna play it like it's 90. No, it's 1990. No, I don't know. Like
10 years a new card.
2015.
Our understanding is that he's kind of like not played a ton recently, but crushing.
But hey, yeah.
Currently undefeated today. So yeah, so I think for game plans for these decks, very cool. Glad for him. Yeah, it's really cool. I love it. And again with like a cool twist on our deck as well. Really fun. Wow. So, Jeskai wants to stop this deck doing what it's doing right now, is the game plan. But I love main phase Bowmasters here, especially after 2 ponders. It's so tempting, like, I'm going to hold it up and then they're going to brainstorm a response. But, like, especially in the semifinals of a big event like this, you need to give your opponent the respect. Like, we see a brainstorm in hand. Arnaud could have gone, like, land, go. And then what? Do you waste your 2 mana by leaving the Bowmasters up? You try and get them. Just get it down now. And then, they have the information that it's there. But very often, you need to just play the brainstorm into it anyway. Additionally, like, if he has a Source of Plowshares, he has removal. He has the removal for the Bowmasters, but he needs to use it on the Troll. So, again, I think just really tight play. Flojo says, thanks for the awesome stream. Hope to see you at 4 Seasons end of February. Thank you, Flojo. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
We are both big maybes about 4 Seasons. I'm in between France and Italy at the same time, so maybe baby. I just have a really short journey around that little thing called the Alps to get there. So we'll see. I hope to be there. So Force on the Prismatic ending for the Animate Dead. This is tempo.
This is just putting Arnaud on the test.
So much pressure.
Right?
And there's a Murktide in hand
This
as
is
well.
all I got. He knows that there is no mass removal in Jeskai 2.
It's not even all these guys going to play a full Murktide as well.
Oh, okay,
No.
wow.
This is
Right, like this is not a Supreme Verdict Terminus Wrath of the Skies Jeskai deck. This is more like a fishy, like
fishy,
like
we call it fishy Jeskai.
like fishy Jeskai. Just like it's like almost like a Jeskai Merfolk pile-ish with like more spell. I don't know.
It's just trying to insult Jeskai more.
No, it's just so hard to describe this deck because it's like there's so many things that this deck does is not like typical for Jeskai.
But boy, this is a absolutely just aggro Reanimator.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
so strong. The troll puts out so much damage. That's the thing. 2 mana 5/5, basically unblockable. God, yeah.
Yeah. Timely Force of Will on the removal spell.
Yeah.
Wow. And it just packs it in. This was probably the fastest game in all of Jeskai in the history of Jeskai. Wizards.
Yeah, super fast. One of the fastest we've had all day today. Even with like combo Tomon kill you and stuff. But this was just like tempo attacks. Okay, so we'll go through the Blue Black Reanimator sideboard. We have an Engineered Explosives, a Coffin Purge, 3 Consigned to Memory, 4 Fatal Push, 2 Orcish Bowmasters, so we've got 2 in the main, 2 side, 2 Fairy Macabre, a Force Negation, and a Harbinger of the Seas. What do you like here?
I do like the Bowmasters.
Yeah.
So what usually ends up happening is that the control decks, they bring in more graveyard hate to hate on your combo. So what you do is like you take out a couple of like animate deads, and fit in more like regular creatures such as like Orcish Bowmasters. It wouldn't. I don't know if you want to bring in the Harbinger of the Seas. I don't think it's the best matchup for it. But if you time it very well, and it might steal the game maybe. Fatal Push is another interesting one. Like you don't want to Fatal Push a Snapcaster, but you do want to Fatal Push on what's it called, a Tommy, or maybe. Yeah,
I was going to ask, like, would you bring in removal? I think removal is just so...
Probably not.
I think it's so bad against the rest of the deck that, you're right, you want Fatal Push for Tamiyo, but it's just the window of interaction against Tamiyo before it flips is small. If you're leaving up a mana, your opponent can be like, well, that's obviously like maybe a Fatal Push or Dismember, and they just play it a bit slower.
Yeah.
You can have Brainstorm in response to a Fatal Push as well. And it's kind of like the risk of having 2 Fatal Push in your hand in the mid game, and your opponent just going Snapcaster, Brainstorm, like whatever.
Right on.
It's too risky, I think, especially in a matchup where, this game was pretty atypical for how it usually goes. Usually, it's like a much longer drawn-out affair or a fast reanimate from like a Trax or an Archon that takes away the game. These kind of like aggressive tempo draws are quite rare, really. And if you put in a removal, reactive cards, you just risk not having strong draws like that. So,
true.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm just looking at these 2 Bowmasters. If he's like seen the deck play a bunch, like we've seen it a lot today on camera, I think the Coffin Purge could be a consideration. It's not great. But the deck really does revolve around the kind of Snapcaster and Mr. Sentry in the later game.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's just a consideration if you have some worse cards, I think.
I mean, it's similar to the Memories Journey we saw in the previous round, right? And that wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad at all.
The only thing that was bad is that was the mana. So every time we saw the Memories Journey, we couldn't make any constructs on the same turn. It's a little different here because the Coffin Purge is such a cheap card.
Yeah, it's just one shot. You can always entomb for it if there's like a really important thing that's getting Sanctuary back or Snapcasted.
Yeah,
that's like the reasoning for it, for the mirrors and things.
Definitely.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if it doesn't come in. I think it's much more likely the Bowmasters come in, probably for like 1 animate dead and a daze or something like that.
Okay.
That's what I'll be guessing. Yeah.
Cool. So, players taking mulligans here.
We got Nimble Mongoose saying something.
No Nimble Mongoose? No.
Nimblest Mongoose. Iteration is way too catchy.
It's way too catchy. What? Catchy.
Does the Demi in the top right corner also reference to his demigod status in Magic?
Oh, dude, that was only a one-off in the deck, though. That was only a one-off.
Which one?
Oh, like Demi? No, not demigod. The Reanimator dude, like the miracle dude.
Oh, metamorphosis for
Oh yeah.
that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. So, Oops, Mr. Trigger saying, so Tubo, if anyone does plays in kind of France and Europe and stuff, I can't remember where he's from. Is it Belgium? I can't remember actually. But Tubo is a killer player that's been playing for a long time. Generally plays tempo, but generally like the best tempo things. So Reanimator here makes sense. Denmark, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, met him properly for the first time now, but been talking for a while. He's lovely guy, and he plays on Magic Online as well, and terrifying opponent.
Right.
Lives in France though. Okay, so he's a de facto.
Dude, that's almost like cheating. Because I thought like he made like all the way here from Denmark.
Yeah.
But nope.
Cool. Alrighty, run away. Ponder gets blasted.
This is aggressive.
What do you think that says? There's a couple of things you could read here.
I do like it if you assume that the Ponder, like that the Underground Sea is the only land in hand and you're looking for the second land. Otherwise, your hand is kind of trash. Like because you keep hands like this, right? Like you against control, you keep a one lander with a Ponder and like lots of interaction, or maybe like a Murklet or something.
Sure, yeah.
And if you Powder Blast that, you buy. So what you do is like you buy time, maybe.
But it's a gamble, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, it totally is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a few things you can read, like from Arnaud's side. I know we can see Tubo's hand, but I think one, you could think there's multiple blasts, so you want to use his mana. Especially, it could be just one red source. Another reason could be he has a Snapcaster in hand. He wants to go next turn land, get something in the graveyard, so you can then play the Snapcaster.
Okay.
That's two things you could read it. The third one is also like he could have a pretty weak hand with no like graveyard interaction, so he's weak to the combo side, so he just wants to buy time in a similar vein. So now we're going to see his hand actually. So my guess is either multiple blasts, a Snapcaster, or a weak hand.
Okay, let's find out. There is a Snapcaster.
There's a Snapcaster, yeah. So he just wants to get that down. So he wants to play the Snapcaster before playing the cage to get the value.
Wow,
from it.
this is a little awkward.
It is. I think now Tubo has the information. Yeah, it's all good if the cage now gets Thoughtseize, and that was like a killer card in the matchup. But I think I'm on board here because like the hand is not great otherwise. Like I think you need to get value off the Snapcaster for the hand to really go anywhere. Like he's desperate for a Ponder or a Brainstorm, some cantrip to sculpt something. So does he draw a Flame? No, a Skeleton Tongue, maybe. But yeah, I buy it. It made sense. There's a Snapcaster.
Okay.
And Tubo has Entomb and Reanimate in hand. So this is one of these situations where
could be one of those games.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful. This is
I think you snap this force off.
Oh man, like Entomb, this is like what makes this archetype so scary is that like Entomb by itself is just like this super light 1 mana instant.
Yep.
that just threatens so much.
Yeah. And yeah, it almost feels like it must cancel. Obviously not, because Arnaud chose not to counter it. But just having the attraction there just means there's so many live things to draw. Like we know he has an Animate Dead in hand. But again, like even if that gets countered by the Force now, then there's more Reanimates to draw to as well. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. Arnaud drinking some beer because he knows it's going to be tough.
Cool. we chilling.
Okay, so he entombed upkeep. So he doesn't draw the Atraxa. Nice. Tight play, really tight. And we see a Force of Will, a Brainstorm, and a Daze to back up this Animate Dead.
Wow.
It's looking like it's Tubo's world. But yeah, you could draw to the cage. Surgical would be great. Tubo also didn't like fire off the Brainstorm. He didn't make a land drop last turn, but the Brainstorm is, he knows there's a Snapcaster Mage to like, flashback the Red Blast. That's the blue card for Arnaud's Force, so he doesn't mind trading cards here. But the Brainstorm is also the blue card for his Force of Will, if he wants to keep the days live. So yeah, interesting spot. I think I like not casting the Brainstorm there. It's just
the Entomb, you mean?
No, he didn't cast the Brainstorm. Because he would like another land, but he doesn't need it. He doesn't need anything else. He has a Force, he has a blue card, he has a Daze, and he has an Animate Dead. So
what's up with this entomb? Like, why would you want to cast a second entomb for another creature?
just in case there's like, you don't want to draw the creatures. I guess Metamorphosis Fanatic is the only creature you don't mind drawing. But another thing is, he could have drawn a Surgical Extraction. It's still closed deck lists. If you target the Fanatic, then you could call the Fanatic, but then Atraxa's still in the graveyard for future reanimate spells.
Okay.
Or the Fanatic comes in, then it targets the Atraxa, then that gets like Surgical. Again,
Fair enough, fair enough.
But then you have a 4/4 lifelink, so just some value.
Okay.
Choo-choo, all aboard the value train.
Okay, it looks like we picked up another blue card.
Murktide, I think.
Possible.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see Force. Arnaud really wants to have drawn another blue card here, so he can keep the Snapcaster. So he can cast the Snapcaster for the Red Blast to counter any potential forces.
Oh wow! But it looks like Arnaud just top decked a bunch of lands.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so brutal.
He needs some Flame of Unknowns.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Reanimator with Force was
what a brutal hit for the Wizards.
Yeah. So here comes the 3/4 lifelink. And then he brings in the Atraxa.
Oh god.
So the Atraxa has a lifelink counter and lifelink, so double lifelink.
Oh nice. Does it count twice?
No. But you can say it twice. And now the fun bit of Atraxa. I think Arnaud is pointing at the Gravedigger's Cage, saying like, you can feel bad for not casting it in the game, but because his hand was pretty bad, I really get it. Like, I think it's...
Oh right, yeah, he had the turn 2 window, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That was fast.
Yeah, but that's how Jeskai Wizards goes down in this tournament. Very sad.
Tubo the villain, but a lovely villain.
Dude, like I feel like everyone in chat, including us, like we were all rooting for
the Wizards.
Yeah. Because again, like you don't see a deck like that very often.
Amazing run though. Like 5-0 into double ID the Swiss, and then win the quarters in a really convincing way.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So we confirm we have a Dimir Reanimator deck in the finals.
Yeah.
And the other semifinals was Cloud Post, I believe, against another against another deck. So could be anything.
Yeah.
Maybe Enchantress. I don't know.
I would love to see Lucas, who is on Cloud Post in the final here.
Oh, dude, that'd be fire. Yeah, like mono green Cloud Post versus Dimir Reanimator.
Yeah, he's prepped for that deck.
Yeah.
He knows he's played against it so much. And Luca versus Tubo, two of the best players I think here.
Cool.
Makes sense to see them there.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting matchup because there is a ton of interaction.
It definitely is. Yeah, Crop Rod for Bog.
Koz's Command.
Yeah,
and then
the One Ring.
Cloud Post just goes over the top completely.
Yeah.
Like Cloud Post can just laugh at Netrax.
Emrakul, the Eon's Thorn.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of cool things. Glimmer Post, getting a bunch of life. I can't even say who's favored.
I think it's even. I think they both have such different kind of styles of playing that one deck can just like destroy the other, and it can look like it's not close one way. But I think it's one of these classic it's close because Blueberry Animator is such a known quantity. Like Lucas is going to have prepared for it. Like you built the deck, made some decisions based on beating that deck because it's such a big public enemy number.
Yeah,
1 or 2.
No, 100%.
Whereas Reanimator is like not going to tech for Cloud Post because he's not really played much. Not because it's bad, but like you're going to tech for the Mirror, Nadu, and Stompy really.
Yeah,
maybe Eldrazi. So yeah,
cool. I think again, thank you so much for watching, and guys, this was the semifinals, and
we're back to the finals very soon.
That's good.
Yep, we'll going to suss it out. It depends when they finish, so we'll be back as soon as we can, basically, for the finals. Cool. See you all soon.